Ladies and gentlemen, Just Sunstrider here, and it is once again time for another edition to Sunstrider's Xcom 2 mod concepts, or just mod concepts in general, because who knows, maybe I'll do mod concepts for other games, but that's not the point right now. The point is that we have another Xcom 2 mod concept. This time it's another enemy mod concept, but this time instead of being raider factions, they are actually advent enemies. Now this is actually one of my first mod ideas that I've ever come up with. I actually made my original post about this on DeviantArt for like forever ago, and of course there'll be content that talked about it there. But I mean, you know, now I've made it to, now I'm making it an official video on my channel, making a video about it, and who knows, if you guys want to look at it, I'll leave the original DeviantArt post in the description below, because I did make some changes from the DeviantArt post to this one. Just, you know, maybe makes a little bit more sense. I changed a couple of the autopsy rewards, some stuff like that. And I also added sitreps and dark events to it as well, which wasn't involved in the original DeviantArt post, and as well as I changed the backstory a little bit as well. So if you guys want to see the original post, link will be in the description below. Alright, so let's get started here. Xcom 2 World of the Chosen, the Shadow Trooper Project, and Xcom 2 World of the Chosen Enemy mod concept by yours truly. Alright, of course, like all my mod concepts videos, there is a backstory. Part 1, Rogue Rulers. When Dr. Boland's escape test subjects were found by Advent and forced into the alien hierarchy, many within the Advent administration questioned the ability to keep control over these powerful rulers. The alien rulers showed a great deal of independent thought, sometimes even going rogue to fulfill their own agendas. Many attempts at subduing or even eliminating the rulers have failed, as they were able to convert members of their species to their cause. This led them to becoming an alarming threat to both Advent and Xcom alike, one that couldn't be ignored. So if you guys remember when I did Raiders World forever ago, and the alien rulers were changed to attack Advent and Xcom, both Advent and Xcom, and lost another Raider factions by the use of renegade rulers. That's kind of where I get some of the inspiration for the backstory of the Shadow Council. In case you guys were, you know, interested in where I came up with this. Alright, part 2, tension within the administration. Opinions regarding the fate of the rulers were widely varied within the Advent administration. Some wanted to continue the efforts to force the rulers into Advent's ranks, as others feared the rulers were too powerful for Advent to contain and wished to destroy them by any means necessary. This led to open arguments between the members, barely avoiding physical confrontation. This level of tension and stress led some members of the administration to break off in the heart of Advent's political party to form their own. Part 3, formation of the Shadow Council. The separating members of the Advent administration, including members of Earth's old pre-invasion council, built their base of operations in the mountains, far from the heart of Advent's control. The primary objective: eliminate the alien rulers. Although they had no interest in becoming a separate organization, they didn't want Advent's primary leaders learning of their plans, so they kept quiet. Because of this, they still had access to the bulk of Advent supplies. Using their access, they designed special Advent troopers with skills and equipment capable of eliminating the alien rulers, many of their projects being successful. We'll get to that later. Part 4, striking a deal. When the Shadow Council pulled off their trickery for a couple of years until the Advent search teams found their base in the mountains. This led to a small confrontation that almost broke out into a shootout, as the Advent teams thought the Shadow Council were defective renegades. Vocal arguments and threats followed between both sides after the Advent administration realized what the Shadow Council were planning. Finally, the Shadow Council broke after the Elders threatened to bombard the mountain from orbit via SL-class UFOs. Little shout out to enemy within there. And they were able to continue the developments, but they had to work for the Advent administration, since the Advent had taken full advantage over the new units in the war against Xcom, even using them to beat the rulers into submission instead of killing them off. So it kind of takes so I kind of take the inspiration from the Renegade Rulers mod, but I don't fully follow through with it, because unless you're using the Renegade Rulers mod, then the Alien Rulers do fight for Xcom anyway, so just, making things come full circle there. And and I find it kind of ironic how the admin administration used the Shadow Council units to beat the rulers into submission instead of killing them off, which is why the Shadow Council was even formed in the first place. So there you go. And now that concludes the backstory there. Not as big as, like the Fallen Army, but still, backstory is backstory. I love my lore. But anyway, moving on, the Shadow Squad. These are actually going to be the units themselves. So first up, we have the Advent Shield Captain, and there's only like a Mark 1 and a Mark 2 for these units. I didn't want to make full 3 tiers of each unit, so there you go. Anyway, basic Shield Captain with 20 HP, 3 armor, 5 will, and 0 dodge and defense, and I only really put in stats that I think would matter for each of the units. So not all of them have dodge, not all of them have defense stats, not all of them have mobility stats right here, because if somebody would actually take this mod up and start developing it, then they could contact me and we could go over the details there. So hopefully you guys can understand it there. But anyway, skills. Shield Captain, shield, shields, 5 ablative HP, 2 allies, and himself or herself within a 10 tile radius. Fire rocket, 5 to 7 damage, 6 tile radius, stretch 1 armor, mark target, plus 20 aim. For all attacks, 1 turn cooldown. 5 to 7 damage because Shield Captain, Shield Bearer, Captain, or I guess Officer, but Shield Captain sounds better than Shield Officer. Mark 2 is quote-unquote Covert Shield Captain. Not really much has changed, just I thought that name was cool. Stats: HP 30, armor 4, will 90, dodge and defense 0, skills. Shield buffed to 8 ablative HP, same radius. Fire rocket buffed to 7 to 9 damage, 8 tile radius, stretch 2 armor. Mark target is still plus 20 aim, not aims. But it also provides plus 10 crit, same cooldown, and the Make Rifle is buffed to 7 to 9 damage. Shadow Lancer, this is where things get interesting. So the basic Shadow Lancer is 20 HP, 0 armor, 60 will, 15 dodge, and 16 mobility. Skills: Whispering Wind can hide in plain sight like the Assassin, reveal the flank triggers on activation. So what that means is, say the Shadow Lancer is in an Advent pod, and so the pod leader, not necessarily the Shadow Lancer, does their big dramatic reveal animation. Other members of the pod scatter into their cover. Shadow Lancer activates Whispering Wind, disappears like the Assassin, then moves to cover. And of course, revealed if flanked or if targeted by a battle scanner. And probably, a 2, 3, 4 turn cooldown between uses. I forgot to add that in there. Just so he's not doing it every second turn like the Assassin. And he has Wraith, which is, it's Wraith, passes through solid objects for 2 turns. Frickin' the little thing at the bottom is blocking it, but dual lightning blades, 5 to 7 damage. Yes, dual wield. I don't know if it would require dual wield melee at that point, but dual lightning blades. Lightning blades! Pretty much sounds something cooler than fusion blades. Stats: HP 20, armor 2, will 80. Night Stalker Lancer. Yeah, again, it's nothing really different. It's just the names sound cool, alright. Stats: HP 20, armor 2, will 80, dodge 15, mobility 20, skills, dual storm blades, or an upgrade from the lightning blades, obviously, 7 to 9 damage, 25% chance to stun for 1 action. Shadow Step does not trigger Overwatch, it's Shadow Step. Sting Grenade, 7 tile radius, 25% chance to stun, disorientates all targets caught. A little shout out to Long War 2 there, because Long War 2 also has Sting Grenade abilities. That's mainly an upgrade of the Flashbang Grenade, but whatever. And Trooper 3 Side Commander, because what is an Advent mod pack without a psionic variant? Stats: HP 25, Armor 3, Will 100, Defense 10 for the basic one, obviously. Skills: Inspire, Domination, Insanity, Void Drift are all vanilla, basic psionic abilities. But then there's Command Attack. All allies within a 10-tile radius gains 1 free action. So say that all the other enemies, or maybe a good portion of the enemies, do their turn, do use their actions. Then the side commander rolls up, go like, we're not done yet, gives everybody a 1 free attack action or free action within 10-tile radius. Who knows? Maybe they shoot, maybe they overwatch, maybe they use one of their abilities. All depends on how the AI handle it, I guess. And a Mag Rifle, of course, doing 7 or 5 to 7 damage. And the Mystic Side Commander. Stats: HP 30, Armor 4, Will 200, Defense 15. Skills: Void Spear, an upgrade from Void Rift. 7 to 9 damage, 8-tile radius. Regen, plus 5 HP per turn. Null Lance, 5 to 7 damage. Stasis, because I love you, Dureva. Summon Reinforcement, summons a group of 4 random advent through a rift. Probably with like a turn delay. Summon Avatar, yeah. Summons an Avatar. The reason for that ability is that I think the avatars are just too underused in the game. You fight 1 after you Skulljack and Codex, and then you fight 3 at the end of the game. They do not get enough screen time, in my opinion. So that's why I gave the Mystic Side Commander a Summon Avatar ability. And the Mag Rifle now does 7 to 9 damage. Who cares? You know, you can really tell that I focus more on the troopers' abilities more than their weapons, because they just all have basic, like, fucking Mag Rifles. Unless, of course, the Shadow Lancer. He only has swords. Alright, and the Jet Trooper, who has a sniper rifle instead of a normal rifle, but you get the idea. Jet Trooper, basic Jet Trooper stats: HP 20, Armor 0, Will 50, Dodge 20. Archangel, launch into the air, granting high ground bonus in all shots. Pretty much Advent Archangel armor. Relocate, jump to a random location, cannot use indoors due to cooldown. Make sniper rifle, 9 to 10 damage. Covert Jet Trooper, which is again just a fancy name. Stats: HP 20, Armor 2, Will 70, Dodge 20, Skill Shadow Step, Execute, guaranteed shot on any enemy at less than 5 HP. You better not fucking let your troopers go down to 5 HP. Or else the Mr. Jet Trooper's gonna be like, BAM! Oh, you were good to heal that unit of yours. Be a shame if somebody were to prevent that entirely. BANG! I probably should have mentioned there's probably going to be like a 4 or 5 turn cooldown on that ability, just so he's not popping shots off left and right. Anyway, Make Sniper now does 10 to 12 damage. Autopsy rewards. This is my first time designing autopsy rewards because the Fallen Army don't have them, and well, my other class or my other mod concept is a class mod, and obviously you're not going to be killing a class mod or an Xcom class mod because it's going to be one of your units, so obviously no autopsy reward on that. Anyway, Advent Shield Captain is Shield Bearer armor, is it obvious? Also, Shield Bearer armor built improving grounds for challenges, supplies, 1 million, 425 alloys, kind of like the Ruler armor. Provides plus 8 HP and plus 3 armor, has the Shield Up ability that has 7 HP, 7 ablative HP to all allies within a 10-tile radius, and of course whoever has the armor in the first place also gets the shields. Shadow Lancer, Shadow Armor, unlocks the Shadow Suit, built-in Proving Grounds for 150 supplies, 1 Illyrian Core, 10 alloys, provides plus 5 HP and plus 20 dodge. That's the Whispering Wind ability that provides an advanced point of concealment where all enemies have 0 tiles of protection range against the unit for 2 cooldown. So it's like a better Reaper. Alright? It's like a better Reaper. Obviously you can only build 1 suit at a time, but you can give it on like a Ranger, and then you have Ultimate Scouting. Anyway, also provides the Shadow Strike ability, so you do the shadows, so you do the advanced form of concealment, then you can freaking completely, totally annihilate some poor bloke in the process when you want to reveal. And the Storm Blade Advanced Sword, stronger than Xcom Fusion Blades, costs 100 plus 50 Illyrium and 10 alloys per blade. So you have to build them one at a time, does 10 plus 13 damage, adds plus 20 aim and crit on all attacks. So it's better than the Fusion Blade, but not as good as the Assassin's Katana, so you have options. Yay. And the Psi Commander, Mystic Psi Amp. Advanced Ionic Amp is stronger than Xcom's Alien Psi Amp. Costs 200 supplies, 100 Elerium, 50 Atlas per amp, again, one at a time. Adds plus 50 to Psi offense and plus 30 damage to all the psionic abilities. Of course, the damage only applies to abilities that do damage, so Null Lance, Void Rift, Insanity if you have Schism on, or if you have Schism on, if you have Schism ability trained. Plus 50 psionic offense, pretty much plus 50% chance to, like, you know, to have like Insanity or Domination work. Advent Lab, bit of a stretch, but allows Xcom to revive and convert fallen Advent corpses to take into combat. Facility costs 250 supplies, 2 Elerium cores, and 50 alloys. Probably straight out a power requirement as well. Reanimated troopers are given specials. Xcom just keep them in line, keep their original abilities and stats, but cannot rank up. Its reanimation costs 100 supplies, and 1 corpse of any Advent trooper. Can be made to work with modded enemies, maybe? You know, better Advent, Pathfinders, Biotroopers, who knows. And the reason for the Advent Lab is because back when War of the Chosen was going to be put out, and they kept on hinting about Advent defectors, I was thinking it was going to be something like this, where you can maybe capture Advent units and force them to work for Xcom, not in the way of the skirmishers. I still like the skirmishers. The skirmishers are still badass, but this would have been more badass, right? Some sort of Advent lab or Advent interrogation room, something like that. Which is why I made the Advent lab, or hopefully can make the Advent lab a thing if anybody wishes to care to take this on. And the Jet Trooper Archangel Armor, bringing it back, boys. Unlocks the Archangel Armor, built-in programs, 100 supplies, 2 Elerium cores, and 15 alloys, provides plus 5 HP, plus 2 armor, and plus 25 dodge. Same mechanics as the enemy within. Archangel Armor, so you can fly around all willy-nilly, shooting shit from above. I was really surprised when they didn't bring the Archangel Armor back into Xcom 2, and I know somebody else made a mod called Jetpacks, but the way those jetpacks work is that it's like a separate ability, so you jump up and then you take a shot, and of course you can jump up to high ground locations without a ladder or anything. It's just hashtag not my Archangel Armor. This is Archangel Armor, where you can fly around willy-nilly at your heart's content, and you don't have to take a shot for it. You can hover there. Hell yeah. Alright, moving on. Sitreps and documents. Sitreps, Shadow Outposts. An Advent outpost belonging to the Shadow Council is nearby. Expect high numbers of Shadow Troopers in the area. Which is, you know, kind of a given that they'd be this kind of sitrep on, or this kind of mod. Shadow Radar. The Shadow Council has access to radars and scanners far more advanced than the Advent administration. If we deploy here, they'll see us coming from a mile away. No way we'll get concealment on this mission. So it's like the High Alert Dark Event, but just for a single mission, not for like a month. Dark Event Shadow Reinforcements. Looks like Advent have put the Shadow Council in high alert for the month. Expect reinforcements to consist of Shadow Troopers for the next few missions. So it's like Rapid Response, but it's for the Shadow Troopers and it affects all missions and not just Guerrilla Ops. And Shadow Uprising. We got reports that the Shadow Council is going through another rebellious phase. You let them cause a little chaos, they'll be too busy with the Advent administration to worry about deploying any troops for at least a month. So, the purpose of this Dark Event, if you let it go through, no Shadow Troopers will deploy on any mission whatsoever, either it be reinforcements or just spawning on the mission itself. So maybe something you want to have happen. Anyway, of course, any modders interested, comment below or at me on Twitter. Twitter will be in the description below. Also, a thing about Twitter, follow my Twitter for live stream announcements. I also have other mod contents on my channel. And I said this before in other mod concept videos, and I'm probably screaming into the void here, but I am a creative individual, and I'll be damned if I don't share my ideas with the world, alright? I'll be damned if I don't try, man. It'd be pretty cool to see one of my mods turn out to be a thing, but who knows? Anyway, that is going to call it here for this mod concept. You know, you better believe that I have more in the works. I will be creating more as time goes on. Regardless, thank you all for watching, and I'm out.